Welcome to Humanity Unboxed with me, Michaell, and my favorite Austrian Californian, Michaell. It's great to hear your voice, Michaell.
Yeah, it's always good to hear your voice. And as I told you, that this is my weekly awareness food that you know, it's total fulfillment. It's total bliss.
Oh, that's brilliant. We move in and out of themes, but I think we usually come back to kind of that exactly that awareness and um, the one of one, how we connect to ourselves. This month, we in the Wisdom Seekers, our theme is energy. And I wonder if we can play a little bit around with ideas. I know you've been going through an interesting um, season, I suppose, of
Yep.
your life where
Yep.
you are connecting to a lot of inner wisdom.
Yep. Very much, because I'm basically in a survival crisis. And it's so amazing what's in there when you don't try to suppress it or drug it out. I can't drug it out because I'm dyslexic, and so my brain would scream. I think I cannot drug it out or anything. So
Yeah.
when you face that fear, that shame, that you just absorbed over generations, uh,
Yeah.
by condition, by the generalizing condition. That's why you and I are so much for the one-on-oneness, because we can't generalize human, because then actually the effectiveness of humans is destroyed. The effectiveness is know thyself, thy one-on-oneness that nature gave you, then
Yeah.
dance with others, right?
Yeah.
So you find your husband, you find your best friend, you find this, and that's the most effective, because when you find the right person without what it's supposed to be, the right person is systemic. But if you feel really drawn to a person and the person feels drawn to you, not just in love, in anything, like you and I are the great example. There's nothing that can hold that back. We are we are communicating over the over the planet, and we
Yeah.
do it every week
Yeah.
because, and we have never met physically. We just clicked, and that's such a power. And then you get really effective. Then you really find yourself, and also you in the systems. It's not just it's just let's just take care for the humans and not for the system. No. The more effective the one-on-ones are, the fit, the more effective they are in the systems too.
That's it. Yes. And we're also different. And we are so different at different times in our lives.
Yep.
But we get to dance. This is why I like this metaphor of dancing with each other, because we
Yeah.
kind of can move in and out, and always know that that energy is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay that that energy is okay. That you're different than me. You're a different gender. It doesn't really matter.
No.
It is irrelevant that you're a different gender, that you're a different place, that you have a different life than me. It doesn't matter. It's the exchange of life perspective. It's my experiences versus your experiences, and add. Not they're not versus. They add to each other.
Yeah.
And strengthen us in our one-on-oneness and our awareness of who we are.
And we can only do that through openness, through kind of um, moving into the energy of openness,
Yeah,
where we can really, I'm not trying to explain or convince you, you're not trying to convince
yeah,
me of anything. It is really just, here we go, here's a topic, let's see what we do with that. And that's always an interesting thing for me, because we come up with some I don't know, very non-linear kind of concepts often.
yeah.
Um,
I would
yeah,
say human concepts, because non-linear is human, and
yeah,
also linear is human. But the essential thing, nature and humans are non-linear, and linear is for systems where we have to generalize, that we can understand each other and communicate to each other. Linear language, language per se is just linear, but it's a system. But then the way how we use is human. I mean, just look at what the difference between one word in England and one word in America, which is the same language. Like Kant has a totally different meaning in both. Yeah. So
even spelled differently, even all of that is very words. Me and words today, especially. I don't know. Sometimes I get confused, but it's very subjective. Language and words and which is interesting. We were talking earlier a little bit quickly on dyslexia specifically, and I had an interesting conversation. I'm kind of immersing myself in. It's difficult for me to separate these things that make us different. Dyslexia is a label. We could use the overall term of neurodivergence, for example. A lot of symptoms or manifestations of neurodivergence are overlapping, so we can have
they
all
are a spectrum
labels on top of each other.
They're all a spectrum. There's
exactly of everything, of life, of the bell curve, of normal understanding. But most of these things were created when we were much less people in the world. So
less aware too.
Less aware. Yes, lots of more pretense, or I don't really like the word masking even, but there's a lot of masking that has prevented us from really seeing the essence of people. And then we compare each other to a normal that isn't really real either. So all of that, just to come back to kind of the seasons of life, when you move through life. And I think your story, or what you are experiencing in this life, is showing that to me quite a lot, as to how there's these spaces that you are moving through, and going back to, almost like fear. We were talking about fear, for example, where as a child you might have felt this fear quite a lot, but it changed, it transformed into something else, and now it's manifesting itself again, but you are looking at it from a different angle.
Exactly. So I'm looking at fear first as just a fear, just an emotion, that needs to be released, that needs to walk through, that needs to be processed. Mm-hmm. And now I found fear being a cover to hold in place the vibration of shame. And so I'm still conquering fear, but because it holds the shame, and shame is so essential, I cannot feel the fear. My body's just reacting to it, so I'm shaking all over or whatever. So it's I can't, because of that, because shame is the absolutely essential. It's, you are not enough. You're not. There's something inherently wrong with you, which is contrary to nature, where we all are one-on-one and are all also at the same time one. So we are interconnected with each other. Like we always say, we're in the same boat. We don't have to kiss each other. We can be on different sides, but we're still in the same boat. So when you see a person you hate, he is still in your boat. So everything you hate this person, you hate that person. It's okay to hate. It's your feeling, but it is a part of you. So it's never segregated of you. He's in you. I think you don't have to hang out with him, kiss him or anything, but see it as one-on-one. That he's a one-on-one, and you are a one-on-one of the one.
Yeah. And now, how do we bring this back to energy and to kind of the cycles, because I feel that
Vibration is energy.
yes, and energy is vibration. Energy
Exactly.
can't be created or destroyed, it
Yeah.
can only be transformed. So
Yeah.
how do we transform that? Or I suppose, you know, the part of the process of transformation is to face it, is to go, okay, I need to face and
Yeah.
experience this.
And where's it gonna go? To awareness. It always goes to awareness. Because if you and I would have nothing to talk if I don't go or you don't go through your awareness of living life.
Yeah.
That's why you can't sit in a room and just saying, okay, I just wait that everything happens. You have to act. You have to experience the world in
Mm.
your thing. And actually, I got really strong because, I was always, for the last 10 years, I'm talking about system relevance and human centricity and one-on-oneness. And now I'm going through the what happened, the opposite, when you're not being one-on-one. I'm going through that, what the world lives, and it's reaffirming everything of myself, everything what I said for 10 years, which is priceless, because now I know I'm not just, it's not a thesis of you and me, or it's not just a theory. It
Yeah.
is the truth, and you see it with your son. I see it with
Mm.
I see it with my life, my own life, and I'm
Yeah.
65. Hello, which is systemically, this is where you have peace. You can think, and it's the most violent time in my life,
Mm.
because poverty is violence, like Gandhi said.
Yeah.
And 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 it's artificial. It's not. It's the scarcity that we all ran away from. You got
Yeah.
to face it. You've got to face. I mean, over 70% of Americans live paycheck by paycheck. So
Yeah.
they're way one paycheck from being homeless or getting homeless,
Yeah.
and nobody wants to know it, because the system says, you got to be thing, make a nice photo for Instagram and put you on. And it's not depressing. It just is. What is. And you have to get through it, or you
But it's
can't,
also, I mean, yeah, we come back to awareness. Awareness is becoming, there is increasing. There's more awareness happening.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
more um awake, I don't know what you want to call it, but
Yeah.
more people are seeing through this capitalist farce of value being attached to
Yeah. We all did it. We
the
all did it.
image. Yeah.
We all did it. You and I did it. We supported it. It's just,
Yeah.
I try to fit in. I try to make things. I try to be a part of everybody.
Mm.
So,
Yeah. No,
so
but there's no shame in it.
no.
There's no blame in it, I must say.
Yeah.
But it is encouraging, or it is refreshing to know that there is so much more awareness happening. It's not,
Absolutely.
doesn't make it, it's not there, it doesn't make it easy for us to now go, okay, well, we can just take it away, or we can just fix it. There's still the 1% issue, and all of those things.
Yeah.
But we can have these conversations, and we can um you know I think broaden that awareness,
Yeah.
or maybe realize that we're not alone in that awareness.
Yeah. That's why the communication between one-on-one is so important. That's why I always say podcasting is one of the superpower tools. It's not making money. Only 1% of podcasters make 98% of the money.
Mm,
But it is the most human centric technology that we have. That we can see each other, that we can talk to each other, that we hear it, that we engage, especially for the neurodiverse people, engage more senses, because we always crush when we can't uh, when we can't you know um, align to the norm with one sense.
yeah.
We can align to us with more senses than one,
Mm,
and so your son has no problem playing rugby, right?
mm, yeah.
There's no problem. There's no, oh, you don't understand. Come on, blah 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 blah. No, but in school where it's just linear, one thing, binary, it's
Mm,
hard to comprehend that, because we are hypersensitive, and
mm,
neurodiverse people, they have all the senses, and they're hypersensitive because to use their senses because they're hypersensitive. So this is one thing is the other, you know.
Yeah.
You are hypersensitive, and therefore you need to use all your senses, because you can't cut down your senses to only with two senses to handle it. That it doesn't give you enough surety of moving on. And when you're in education, you have to adapt to a cog, and that cog, which is the absolute opposite and worst for the neurodiversity, because
Yeah.
you're hypersensitive by birth. You know, nature made you hypersensitive. There's nothing wrong. I was called for 50 years a hypochondriac and crazy person, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're hypersensitive because, and doctors couldn't help me, systems couldn't help me, so I have to figure out how my body and everything works myself.
Yeah.
So, and but look how good I'm now.
Mm.
You know, I don't know where I'm living in the next 2 years, in the next 2 days, but I am able to communicate to you, obviously another neurodiverse, but we can communicate, and we are not crazy in our mind or anything.
Yeah. Well, if we don't compare ourselves to others, I think this is the
Yeah.
main issue in the world, is that we keep on comparing ourselves.
Yeah, and
We
always
don't
getting
know.
away from the one-on-one, always getting
Yeah.
away. And
And we don't
hypersensitivity
even
is a
know.
superpower. Yeah,
Yeah. And we don't even know what we're comparing ourselves to. We comparing
exactly.
ourselves to a perception of something that might not even be real.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
a generalization, of a pattern. Okay, this is what's a good boy, right? This is what a
Mhm.
good girl is. What is that? You know?
Yeah.
Is it about sex? Is it about drugs? Is it about being violent? Is it about being racist? What is it of being a good girl? And it's
Well,
never this. It's never defined by system. This is another problem.
mm,
When we take systems as a gauge, the system never gauges what they need from you exactly, and you follow the rules and you get it. The system
no.
tells you what they can't get, and
Mm,
that's happening to me now for 3 months to the system. I said this. No, doesn't matter. They
yeah.
say that doesn't go because they do semantics and say, oh, you're not a drug addict, you're not an alcoholic. No, boom.
Yeah. So there's a judgment in, okay, well,
It's an
you
out.
don't, yeah, no, you don't fit into this box, therefore you
Yeah,
don't deserve
yeah.
this thing.
It's such an easy out, you know. It's when you
Mm,
have kids that are not they are not adapting as good as everybody else. It's
mm,
easy to get them out, you know, because the
yeah.
system is powerful and says, "Oh, yeah, he's not good enough. She is not good enough. She doesn't do it right. She has
Yeah.
a disability. Disability is shame. It's right when you say that human has a disability, that kid is disabled.
Mm,
The worst thing. Have you ever seen a disabled person say, "Yeah, do this for me"? No, nobody wants you to look at them as disabled. Why? Because it's so hurtful. Because it's such shame.
yeah,
And
but it's in the word. It lies in the word, isn't it? You are
yeah,
not able to.
yeah,
So
you're not able to be you, because
yeah.
all you
Oh,
have to be is you. The only nature,
yeah.
right? The only thing nature asks is to be you
Yeah.
and dance with other people. It doesn't
Mm,
ask you to be, you know, cuddled and whatever. You know, it doesn't
yeah.
ask that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, and this is another thing of neurodivergence in general. I mean, it's such a big term and a general kind of generalization, which we don't really like very much.
Yeah.
Um, but there is a deeper form of connection. There's an authenticity, there's a realness and
Yep.
a vulnerability in there.
Yeah.
Because you and I don't know, maybe it is because as being different, we go through, connecting to ourselves more. So we try and understand more
Yep.
as to who we
Because we
are.
think we're wrong. Because
Yeah.
the thing is, because when you're told you're wrong, everybody of us is a what do you call it, a scientist. We all the neurodivergent. Look at the octopus movement.
Yeah.
Everybody tries to define more and more. Everybody's a specialist, quote unquote, in this and this and this and this. because we want to find what's wrong with us. We don't
Yeah,
not
and we also want to belong.
and belong. Yeah, and
Mm.
so in order to belong, we need to find first what's wrong with us, what's told to us that we are wrong,
Mm.
to connect. You know, and that's the transformation of energy that you were talking about from the beginning. I just want to bring us back.
Yeah.
When the awareness of this, our talk right now, and I've never talked about this because this comes all right now in with from you and my uh, mastermind.
Yeah.
It's so we when we talk, we become aware, then we ask questions, and then actually we can do systems. We
Mm.
can update systems. We can make systems better. We can transform energy.
But we can also function outside of those systems. We can also just be us in
That's
our own
general.
space.
That Michaell, that's general. That is the status quo. We all transform outside of systems because, as always, my example, the CEO in the corner office in New York
Mm.
falls in love with his secretary. There's no system that supports that. We
Yeah.
function human centric, but we pull ourselves out to be system relevant because system relevant has conditioned us that it's never enough what you do because of the outdated financial principles. It's never enough whatever I do. So when money becomes survival, then money becomes the most important. It's not the love, it's not anything else. And that's a lie because love and interaction and care, that's the superpower because money is not even worth the paper it's printed on.
Well,
It's
yeah.
it's
Most
an
of it is
imagination.
even on paper. Yeah, but most of it doesn't really even exist yet. There is an attached value to it. I mean, I can't go to South Africa in for Christmas if I don't have money to pay for the flight. You know.
No, no,
So
absolutely. No, no,
yeah,
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it has no, because my love towards you and your love, my and our interaction,
mm,
that is tangible. That's real. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
The money is what you interpret on what's written on it. So you look
yeah,
at the £1 note or a £10 note, it's different.
yeah. And it's also in that exchange. You know what is in the exchange value. So I've been working with people where we are working with bartering or hybrid kind of exchange of
Yeah.
value,
Yeah.
which
That's better. That's
is
better, I think.
it's actually very good for the soul, for my soul,
Yeah.
because yeah, that persuasion element in transactions is
Yeah.
what is really something that prevents me from going there. It's it's a difficult system to navigate because I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another story. I think another couple of episodes conversation
Yeah.
around the energy of these things and how we perceive it, like
Yeah.
transactional
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah, I mean, it's also shame driven because
Mm,
if you're, you know, if you have, it's a confirmation. See, money is a beautiful, the energy vibration. Let's talk about energy and money. The money and the energy is a
yeah.
beautiful flag for your issues.
Mm,
So you might have billions of dollars and not be happy. You
yeah.
might have no, the opposite of me. You have no money and be happy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not for not having money,
Mm,
but money doesn't the lack of money affects me,
yeah.
but it doesn't take my 101ers.
No, or your value, but it would be easier if there was money
Absolutely, no, 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 no.
yeah.
And that's not unnatural. Is lack of money or an exponential thing of money is unnatural,
Yeah.
but you know but it shouldn't have that I don't know. I don't know how what I would say. It's the money is not something bad at all. Money
Yeah.
is just money. It's like a gun. It's just natural. What you do with it. It's always, we love to push power on something we created, like putting power on AI, that it can kill us, putting power on money, that it's bad or good.
Yeah.
And now we're putting it, it's actually the humans, always the humans. And all the issues that we have in life, we need to look at from the human-centric point, which you and I, propagate all over.
Yeah. And yeah, no, I agree. There is energy, it is an energy exchange as well.
Yeah.
Money, but it's kind of like we have systems or maybe shame, maybe all those elements that were attached to those money um, transactions, maybe, I don't know, to money, I suppose, is what has created this. I don't know if I can say it like a I don't know what to say, but
But
bad energy, like something that is almost um, pushing it away,
yes,
because
because it is
yeah,
the survival, and that's not true by nature. Money is not survival. There's no money in nature. Otherwise, there would be money in nature.
yeah,
Money is not survival. And that's what we have to push away so long till we get it. Because the superpower of money is it's a flag. So for
mm,
me, poverty is a flag. That's a flag. It's a, hey, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, like fear. You
yeah,
look at it, you're not running away.
yeah,
And the same is, for the rich person that isn't happy and said, now I have to $20 billion and I'm still not happy. So it's the best flag. That's the true energy of money. It's a flag. It's
yes,
like fear. It's putting you in the direction. And we made that. We actually created that because when we made money survival in the old days, it was like, okay, I could change a hammer against a chicken or a sample, right?
yeah,
But how many hammers do you need? So money is a good thing because
yeah,
then you can pay me or I can pay you, and then
mm,
I can go to other people and buy eggs. I buy whatever,
yeah,
clothes or whatever with that. So money is actually one of the most brilliant invention after the wheel and fire. I think comes right after that because and the exchange of that is proving to us when it was in the old days, it was naturally I give you this, you give me that, and
yeah,
it's more a bartering thing, and it's not just and I think the problem is when we make money a generator of money without having anything tangible. It's too out there. It's too mindy.
mm,
When there's no because what happens is when you're good in that, you take all the juice out of exchange, out of communication with each other, out of contributing to each other. Money should be just to contribute to each other, not to be a business to just generate a mind construct. Because
yeah,
this is beautiful coming in. Yeah,
yeah,
we use money as generating a mind construct, right?
yeah,
And make more money with a mind construct with
mm,
a false, with an outdated false system perception of it's never enough no matter what. So people don't even want to say I can never work as hard as manipulating money. So when the work and the contribution that you're supposed to do, each
mm,
one is less valuable than the money, than the manipulation of the symptom of work,
mm.
then we are lost. And look, then our value, humans become less and less worthy.
But there's also no connection. There's no that true exchange of value
Exactly. Yeah.
for us is the exchange of connection, that
Yeah.
openness, that common ground, that I see you, you see
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And in a money transaction, there is none of that. So
And
there's a coldness,
yeah.
and a different kind of energy
Yeah,
substance.
because it's not natural. See, that's
Mm.
why you and I are so addicted to each other, to the awareness, because
Yeah,
we are so addicted to it because this is what's so lacking, the awareness.
yeah,
The awareness is so lacking. that we are so like an automaton. We're just acting systemically linear and binary. And we were forced, this is the blessing of being neurodiverse, we were forced to use all our senses to be part of.
Because, because there's no other choice.
We had no, it was
Yeah.
surviving. How can we survive to be a part of one-on-one, of the one, our one-on-one? How can we survive that? Yeah,
exactly. Oh, what a great conversation. We have a guest,
oh
gratitude
my
sacred
goodness.
awakening.
Oh, I'm getting all nervous.
Thanks and welcome. They are saying the lost confusion of society is coming closer to an end, the delusion and of our own current slash fog, the mechanism of our delusion that has played a ripple interpreted individually. Yes, and I agree. I think there's a lot of these systems coming to an end. You sent me that video, Bashar video about astrology. Astrology being a mirror or a reflection, and that's exactly. I mean, astrology is showing us this as Pluto is getting ready to move into Aquarius. We've got a little second moon hanging around. It's all these cool little magical things happening, and the awareness is spreading like wildfire. I think people are seeing through the limitations of these binary processes. We are involved in the what's the word? These media shows of BS. Kind of sucking us all into the show. Today was actually quite a heavy, energetic day for me personally. And I don't know if it's maybe because it's the 7th of October. It's a year since all this stuff flared up in Gaza and over there. And it takes its toll on
Everybody. It's nobody is excused. We
Yeah.
have to really say unawareness excuses nobody. Everybody is. So being unaware of it's never enough, no matter what, makes you act crazy as a billionaire or a leader. And it makes you suffer. Leaders and people in power getting crazy, and the people that are suffering from it's never enough, no matter what, are hurt, are painfully shamed and hurt. So nobody wins. So when a help system, when somebody in my case, 20 help system try to help me, and the agents try to help me, but get pushed from the top and pushed from the bottom that needs, there is no help given. And everybody knows it. All lose. There's nobody winning. And and we need to really say our unawareness is affecting us all. Only our awareness affects us to find more who we are and more that we are okay, that everybody's okay. Because when let's say you were always told, don't fart, okay? And then you hear let's say the Queen of England saying, I had some farts, wind blowing out of my whatever. All of a sudden you feel okay. So because you're aware, everybody farts. I make that so extreme so we can get it. The awareness can spread. But and also listen in sequence to our episodes. We get better and better because we're dancing better and better. In the dance is so much growth.
That's it. And there's so much growth in connecting to each other, isn't there?
Yes. Oh my God, it's priceless. It's priceless, and it's my tears are coming. It's just
Michael, thank you
beautiful.
so much.
Thank you all for listening, and I can only tell you, keep listening first, and if you want to help us, support us, and like the talk, because we make a difference. We know it. Even if just you and I do it. We just do it by becoming conscious, and we are connected anyway to
Yes.
everybody. Thank you,
Thank you.
Michelle. Beautiful.
Thank you. We'll chat again next week.
Yeah.